All right, good evening, everyone. This is February 1st, 2024, and it's the regular meeting of the City of Menifee's Park Recreation and Trails Commission. Call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock, and I'd like would the clerk please do roll call for us?
Chair Ackerman.
Here.
Vice Chair Faust.
Here.
Commissioner Tremblay.
Here.
Commissioner Sanchez.
Here.
Commissioner Peterson.
Here.
Awesome. And item number 3, Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like Commissioner Peterson to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Y'all could stand if you're able. Thank you. Okay, item number 4 is the selection of chair and vice chair for this coming year, and I'd like to open it up for nominations for chair of the Park Recreation and Trails Commission. Do we have any nominations on the floor?
I'd like to nominate Dave. Commissioner Faust.
Okay, Commissioner Faust, do we need a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations for chair? All right, in that case, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Awesome. Congratulations, Commissioner Faust. And for vice chair, do we have a nomination for vice chair?
I'd like to nominate Tiara.
Okay, Commissioner Tremblay for vice chair. Do we have a second?
I'll second that one.
All right. Any other nominations? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
And opposed? Okay, thank you. And Commissioner Faust, you have the opportunity, privilege to chair this meeting if you'd like, or I will continue.
I'll let you finish this meeting.
Thank you for that. All right, presentations. I see we got a lot of ballers out there. That's awesome. And turn this over to Mr. Nix.
Thank you, former Chair Ackerman. I'm going to hand it over to Supervisor Gabby Cow for the presentations.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. My name is Gabby Cow. I am the Community Services Supervisor. If I can go ahead and have the PowerPoint up. So back in December, we wrapped up our second annual NFL Youth Flag Football League with 127 players across 3 different divisions. Tonight, we'd like to recognize our coaches of the season as well as our championship teams. The success and growth of our sports leagues rely heavily on the dedication of our volunteer coaches, who are responsible for practices and games over a 2-month period. Beyond the field, they also mentor and teach our young players sportsmanship and teamwork. At the end of the season, city staff selected a coach of the season for each of our divisions. Coaches, as you were introduced, please come forward to be recognized by our commissioners. At this time, I'd like to invite the commissioners to help us recognize at the front of the room. Yes. For the D division, we'd like to recognize Coach Robert Chobo with the Broncos. Robert was a first-time head coach this season, but is not new to coaching. He can always be counted upon to be encouraging, kind, and supportive to not only his team, but to other teams. Whether it was lending a flag to a player of the opposing team or cheering on their biggest competitors, under Robert's lead, the team always did it with a smile. For the C division, staff selected Coach Jared Hardman with the Broncos. Jared is a very compassionate, respectful, and hardworking coach. He made this season all about his players and was always willing to step up and help whenever needed. Jared was known to be competitive, but humble all in one. We are grateful to have Coach Jared with us for the current basketball season as well. Unfortunately, our third coach day was unable to join us, but it is Coach Mark Tavares with the Bills for our B division. Mark stepped up as a first-time coach and gave his all every week, making sure to never miss a practice and always rescheduling if weather was an issue. He takes the sport seriously while still engaging his team and keeping a positive outlook. Thank you, coaches. We look forward to your return next season. Next up, we would like to recognize the championship teams for our two upper divisions. For the C division, I'd like to ask the Raiders with Coach Eldon Gutierrez to please join us at the front. Coach Eldon stepped up to take over the team in week 3 of the season, but ultimately leading his team undefeated 8-0 all the way through the championship game. Coach Eldon is also joining us for the basketball season. For the B division, our championship team is the Rams with Coach Shari Zardi. Can you please join the commissioners at the front? Coach Shari was a first-time coach with our league this season, transitioning from being a former tackle football coach. Combining her love for the game and compassion to coach made her the best coach to lead the Rams to winning the championship with a 7-1 overall winning streak. Congratulations to both teams, and we'll see you back on the field in August. Now, I'd like to present our CSD Employees of the Winter Quarter. Every quarter, we ask the Community Services team to take a look at their colleagues across the department and nominate their coworkers that they believe exemplify the qualities that make our department so awesome. All of our nominees exceed expectations and provide consistent, positive, and timely service, both to our internal and external customers. They are respectful, approachable, and work well with members of other divisions with an overall emphasis on department goals. They are also proactive, often demonstrating independent decision-making, and don't hesitate to go the extra mile to take on new or complicated assignments. All of the nominations this quarter were reviewed by a selection committee to make the tough decision of picking only one part-time and one full-time employee for this past quarter. First off, our senior management analyst, Corey Jones, will be introducing our part-time employee of the quarter.
Okay, good evening. I can't really say enough good things about Ruby. She's just been wonderful to work with. She's been a wonderful addition to our admin team at CSD. She has excellent customer service skills. She collaborates on new ideas and processes to help make the department run a lot smoother. She's become an expert in dealing with our contract class schedules, our instructors, and she's also been integral part of developing our facility rental and park rental processes. So this award is well deserved. Thank you, Ruby.
Next, our Park Landscape and Facility Maintenance Manager, Bryce Howell, will introduce our full-time employee of the quarter.
Yeah, I get to introduce Gus. He has been with us since 2021. He's one of my favorite employees. He was one of the ones that was in the interview. I remember going, "Oh, is he going to be as good as he interviewed really well? Like, is he really going to be that good?" You know, we brought him in. He's one that'll step up, and he was. He's been that great ever since then. So he's been here 2.5 years. He's already moved his way up from a maintenance 2 to a senior. He oversees a few of the other guys now. He's very dependable. He's always picking up the shifts. You'll see him at events, overtime if it's there. He's always willing to help out and be a huge team player. So, Gus, I wish we could do more than just a plaque like that, but well deserved. So, good job.
Congratulations, Ruby and Gus, and thank you, commissioners. Yep, I'm sorry. The Raiders have one more player.
We had one that showed up a little late, too.
Yeah, think about it. It'll come to me.
Okay, let's move on to item number 6, approval of minutes, the December 7th, 2023 regular meeting minutes. Do we have any corrections to the minutes? Sure you've all had a chance to read them. If not, can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve.
Is there a second? Okay, any discussion on this? If not, all those in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item 7, agenda approval or modifications. Do we have any agenda approval or modifications?
No modifications.
Okay, thank you. And item 8, public comments, non-agenda items only. Are there any public comments?
No public comment.
See any? Good. All right, moving on to item 9. Discussion items 9.1, committee appointments.
Ms. Jones is going to take this item.
Okay, good evening. So at this time, we would like to ask the commission to review its committee appointments. We do have a vacancy on the Riverside County Transportation Committee, Specialized Transit Working Group.
What does that all entail?
I'll jump in on that. So the Riverside County Transportation Committee, Menifee Specialized Transit Working Group, was actually the representatives that worked with us along with RCTC and a member from the Senior Advisory Committee to kind of make sure that we're addressing senior transportation issues, which is how we came across with the MOU with Caravan Transit Services, who offer services to Menifee residents that are seniors and or disabled. And then also, if we are looking to revisit any of that stuff, this is when we would call upon that person to kind of speak on behalf of the commission to participate in any future meetings. As of right now, the commitment is relatively minimal. We are looking at bringing the group together in the next month or so to kind of revisit our current grant funding through Measure A with RCTC, just to kind of give an update and see if we're meeting and addressing the needs of our Menifee residents.
Mr. Sanchez, thank you for that. Other commissioners, are you happy with your current appointments, committee appointments?
I'd be willing to give up one of mine, the Economic Development Committee, if somebody would like to take that. I think it's an annual meeting.
Yes, that one meets annually with our Economic Development Department just to look at what's going on in the city, meets collaboratively with the Planning Commission and some of the development departments, engineering, planning, and just talks about, new development that's coming into the city. Then from our commission, we're also looking at, that kind of land preservation and park and trail component when new development's coming in.
Would anyone be interested in taking Commissioner Faust's position there?
Can you have more than one position? I'll do it.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Sanchez. Okay, anything else with this? We're all good?
Okay, thank you. So we'll make notes of those committee appointments. I also wanted to take the time to remind the commission with regard to your activities on the committees, and as we come into a pretty busy city event schedule. Chapter 3 of the Commissioner Handbook outlines the Brown Act, which is the law that governs legislative bodies, which is what this is. And so it kind of outlines duties and responsibilities of the commission for events or activities outside of our normal meetings.
Thank you for that. Item 9.2, Quimby revision for Cimarron Ridge project.
Ms. Mitchell's going to take this one.
Good evening, commissioners. So this item might look familiar because we actually reviewed this item back in November. So what we have before you is a Quimby revision specifically for Cimarron Ridge. So when we're looking at the upcoming, the development that's currently underway, when we're looking at the development agreement, it looked like there was a minor clerical error in the item that was presented to you in November. And that's mostly based on the parkland dedication. Originally, the assumption was the park was 10.9 acres, and the reality is that park is 10.19 acres. So whereas the previous item, we had said that the parkland dedication had met the Quimby requirements. With the reduction of acreage, it no longer meets the requirements, which means they're going to have to pay a portion of fees in lieu of parkland dedication to kind of make the Quimby dedication whole. So this kind of goes through the basic calculations. Everything in the project is remaining exactly the same as it was presented to you. It's just we're fixing that clerical error in the park acreage. So with the 10.19 acre park, there's a deficit estimate of 0.58 acres of parkland that will be assessed once the developer gets an appraisal of the fair market value of 1 acre of land. That will determine what the fee will be. So that's technically what the fiscal impact would be in the future. And of course, the Quimby fees are utilized to invest into our park system to offset the additional residential components that are coming in new developments. So that pretty much concludes my report. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Just the only question I had, and so the park is basically, for all intents and purposes, about the same size. But some of the recommendations that we had discussed when we reviewed the park, any feedback on that from the developer?
I believe it's currently in plan review, so I do know that that's still, the conversation is still taking place.
Thank you.
Any other questions, commissioners? Could I have a motion to approve revision of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, actually, you can motion to approve. It was actually just a question,
Okay.
not specific to this.
Motion to approve revision of Quimby assessment for Cimarron Ridge. Have a motion
Motion.
and a second?
I'll second that one.
Okay. Any further discussion on?
And my
Cimarron
question
Ridge?
was, how much do you guys foresee this opening up, like reservation space for teams in the community with the extra? Because is it a soccer field and then the baseball fields?
Yeah, it's two baseball, softball, and then the multi-purpose field. So
Yes.
it, with the lights that's there, that extends the amount of time, and with that many, I mean, just one field alone with lights extends that amount of time. So it's gonna increase the availability for them tremendously.
Thank you.
And no further discussion. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 And opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 9.3, Quimby revision of Golden Meadows.
Ms. Mitchell will also take this one.
Yes. So again, this one is another item that you guys did see exactly a year ago. So about February 2023, this was presented to Parks, Recreation, and Trails Commission prior to going to the Planning Commission for an overall amendment to the project. So what we had originally approved, there was some discussion, as if you could recall, we had some community members that weren't exactly pleased with the current layout of Phase 4 because there was an increase in number of units that would be coming to this project overall. And so after some back and forth between Planning Commission and City Council, we finally have an approved amendment to the project. And so what the amendment is, what you initially had seen in February 2023 had essentially said phases 1 through 3, we were not going to there were not any changes to any of the development units. There weren't any changes to the parkland that was already included in that development. But Phase 4 is where the changes were going to take place. And so, with that in mind, we're reviewing Phase 4 because initially, when you guys originally saw the item, there were about 19 more dwelling units in this project, and they've kind of reduced that so they can have larger lot sizes for Phase 4. And with that, we do have the sports park that is going to, the park that is included in this project, which is at 3.54 acres. And so kind of redoing the Quimby calculation based on the reduced number of dwelling units for Phase 4, it looks like the project is now currently in compliance with meeting the Quimby Parkland dedication requirements. So whereas the February item that you guys saw, they were going to end up paying additional fees because they didn't quite meet it with those additional units. So again, this is a correction and revising what is currently before you. And again, I just want to make note that Phase 1 through 3 is going to remain exactly the same as it was when you saw it in February, meaning that the developer was going to pay $124,000, a little over $124,000 for Quimby fees for parkland dedication, as it is in the current development agreement. And for Phase 4, they now meet the Quimby requirements. So essentially, that is my overview of this item. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
No questions? Okay, could we have a motion to approve revision to Quimby assessment for Golden Meadows?
I'll move that.
Thank you, and a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item 10, Community Services Department comments.
I just have a few director comments this evening. So I just want to remind the public and let the commission know that there is a workshop next Wednesday. So in addition to our regular city council meeting that starts at 6 o'clock, the city council will be convening right here in this room earlier at 4 o'clock. We're going to be looking at our mid-year budget update. So the city staff and the finance department will give the council and the community an update of just the city's finances and just a few minor adjustments to our fiscal year budget. And then also give everyone an update on our strategic plan. March of 2023, almost a year ago, the city council adopted a 5-year strategic plan looking at different things, particularly related to this commission here, looking at unique identity, social infrastructure, emphasizing parks, and it was very much the basis for us approving our Parks Master Plan in July. So we're going to have an update on that and also just look at the city's finances. Spoiler alert, the city's doing pretty good. So, so nothing alarming there. And then Central Park Amphitheater, as you may have seen, the City Council approved moving forward with the construction of that last month. And Bryce and Mariana and Corey and the team have been working with South Star Engineering and Optima Construction and T.Y. Lin Architecture to get this up and running. So there's going to be a groundbreaking ceremony in about 2 weeks, Friday, February 16 at 11 a.m. right there in Central Park. So definitely, if you're available, commissioners, I really encourage you guys to come down with the city council to put the shovels in the ground and actually start that construction ceremonially. And then also looking to the future in about 1 month, we're going to have our Wildlife Appreciation Day and Quartz Ranch ribbon cutting. So Quartz Ranch's park is already open. It's available. This will just be the official ribbon cutting for that. So again, commissioners, really enjoy your attendance on that day, Saturday, March 2nd, 10 a.m. Ribbon cutting will be about 10:30, so if you can get there right at the beginning, if you can spare some time for that, always appreciate all of your support for all these new parks that are coming. That park is at Evans and La Piedra. It's right across the street from Evans Ranch Elementary School. And then also, since we have our new commissioner joining us for 2024, we're going to take pictures again. So we're going to do that. I know, you guys just took pictures, but we're going to do it again with Commissioner Sanchez as well. So for our next meeting on March 7th, please try to, if you can, arrive a little bit earlier at 5:30 and wear your commissioner shirt, and we'll be taking some more photos. And those are my updates, and I'm open for any questions from the commission as well.
So is this a typo when it says Friday? It's supposed to be Saturday, February 16th for the Central Park Amphitheater.
No, it should be the Friday. So
Okay, so it's Friday,
yeah,
the 15th.
Friday the 15th.
Okay.
Yes, sorry about that. Oh, it is. Friday is the 16th.
Oh, sorry, I was looking in March.
Okay. Okay.
This is in February. My
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
apologies.
because the next two are March. Yeah. So no, but so it is Friday, February 16th. I'm not looking at a calendar, so I'm going to trust that that's correct.
You scared us for a minute.
Yeah.
I scared myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
And I believe the other two dates are correct as well. So.
And the notice to proceed will immediately follow?
So they've already been issued the notice to proceed, but that's why, so they can, we needed that so they could mobilize and everything. As you see, the fencing's gone up there.
Yeah.
Just so that's what they're doing now. So
Yeah, ordering materials, getting all that stuff ready. Yeah.
deal.
It's exciting.
Any other questions? Moving on, 10.2, Parks and Progress Update.
Mr. Howell.
Okay. Oop. All right. Not much really that's changed as much. I know it still says 90-day maintenance for Banner Village. So that actually goes next Wednesday to council. There was some deed issues that it's all been taken care of. So the city will be taking over that park this month. I know it's been open to the public, but we will start maintaining that park so we can start doing our picnic shelter reservations, so that, things like that. So that will be under the city there. And that's really all the updates that I have for most of these, other than the conceptual list going on. But if you guys have any questions for any of the parks,
I just had
Hello.
one
Yes.
on Banner. Banner's the, no, I'm sorry, which is the one that's off of Newport? Is
Wh- So Newport, do you mean Newport and Lindenberger?
Yeah.
That's Banner Park.
That is
That's Banner
okay,
Village, yes.
I went by there with my grandkids because over the holidays I said, hey, let's go look at all the new parks. So I took them to all the new parks, which we had a lot of fun. But we went to Banner Park and because I was telling them, well, this is where the splash pad's is for the wintertime. But I was amazed that there was no playground there. I didn't even realize that.
Yes, so the playground, when we brought it forward, it was a swap for the splash pad for the playground, correct? And then it has the basketball and other activities that are there, but that was the kind of change for the splash pad in the playground.
Has there been any issues with skateboarders in the
No.
splash pad? Or?
No, we haven't had any issues in that.
Awesome. Okay, thanks.
I have a comment about Quartz Ranch. I went up with a friend to check that out. Really like that park. And we're walking the trail, and he goes, Bill, the grass is dead. And I said, no, it's dormant. So I don't know if you've had any other comments from citizens regarding this?
No, I have not, but I usually prepared. I mean, I remember when we first opened Spirit Park, and we opened it, of course, in the winter when things are dormant and it looks dead. It'll green back up. It's a hybrid Bermuda, so it actually stays greener longer and it'll green up sooner. It's saving on water and the maintenance of costs on that. So it's really good for soccer on those sports fields. So that's what on a lot of our sports fields that way we're starting to move that direction on that kind of turf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious. Go ahead.
I do want to
Commissioner
mention that my grandkids approved all the parks. Just
Perfect.
For the record.
Good.
We're gonna get them on the inspection team next time with Bryce, yeah.
Faust. Commissioners, any other comments or questions on Parks in Progress? Okay. 10.3, solid waste and recycling update.
Ms. Jones.
Okay, so we have our largest bulky item drop-off event happening this month on the 24th, which is a Saturday. That's starting at 8 a.m. This year, so that typically encompasses all the collection of recyclable materials, the mattresses, appliances. We are taking tires. We will have e-waste and then just regular trash. We'll also be adding this year compost mulch giveaway, similar to how we had the setup at Heritage, and residents only, no commercial waste. I also wanted to take the time to highlight, now that it's officially off the ground, the expanded food distribution program, the partnership with Menifee Valley Community Cupboard that is funded through the Edible Food Recovery Cal Recycle Grant. So the Quail Valley Boys and Girls Club is the location now of a food distribution program for the Quail Valley community, which is now happening every second Friday. We recently, Menifee Valley Community Cupboard recently held their first Romaland distribution event at Eller Park. That will be on the 4th Fridays of the month. And so I hear that it went well, so that's great news. And just to remind the commission and anyone listening, the city still has funding to assist businesses with recycling programs and any SB 1383 requirements.
Thank you, Corey. Any comments, questions, commissioners?
I have just a quick question. With the recycling program, is there any way to utilize those funds for some of whether it be more recycling bins or oversight at some of our parks? Because I know when I went to the pump track, for example, everything was kind of overflowing in the trash cans, and it was not clear what was recycling, what wasn't.
So it's hard. We do have some bins that are the recycling trash or at the parks, but to be all honest, when people are throwing it away, they use either bin. So we have to now go through that. So the pump track, we're even starting in the next contract, but we're picking up almost every day. It's just that busy. We have staff, then we have our contractor as well picking up those trash there, and we're going to add actually a couple more trash cans throughout the pump track too. But the recycling bin, Corey's been ordering some, and we've been putting them at certain parks, but it's the usage of it and relying on people to actually use the correct bin on those.
If I can jump in real quick, a lot of what we do with some of the grant funding that we utilize, the edible food recovery can't cover some of that cost, but we do have some local assistant grant funding from Cal Recycle. We're focusing on education and outreach because it comes down to changing behaviors, getting people used to looking for recycling bins and making that extra effort to make sure it's being sorted correctly. So as Bryce mentioned, sometimes, we can put it out there, but if we can't help educate and do that outreach to make sure people are utilizing it appropriately, it's not as effective as we'd like it to be. So we're working towards education and outreach as a major component. You'll see the Menifee Recycles booth at all of our citywide events. If you still need a compost pail, we have plenty to give you. But again, it just trying to change that behavior and working towards educating our youth, our adults, and all of our residents on what the expectations are for recycling in the future. So.
Commissioner Faust.
Just one comment, the food distribution. I know Eller Park's is a new location, right? They were using Heritage, and I think this is gonna work out better hopefully for them, but what a great service for the community, and I highly support the community covered and appreciate the city's partnership with them and helping that out. But making it out in the community, because I usually volunteer on the third Friday in the parking lot there in Sun City, and it's crazy, the traffic and the cars and stuff. So I'm glad that we can take it out into the community. It helps to ease up the load on distribution.
And there are some families that don't have access to transportation to get to Sun City, so this is a wonderful addition for food distribution. 10.4 Recreation Division update.
Back to Ms. Mitchell.
All right. So again, this very familiar grid that you see before you, just kind of giving you some update on our participation numbers and our revenue collection as many of our residents are coming out of the winter hibernation period. So you'll see we've just, some of that bigger numbers, you'll see our athletic field users. We just finished our allocation period for the spring through summer. So again, those will start coming up. And then again, our contract classes continue to excel as our employee of the quarter, Ruby Torres, works specifically with our contract class instructors and has made it her personal mission to expand the contract class offering that we have here throughout the city. So glad to see that her efforts are paying off. So moving on to a couple items that we have for the Recreation Division. Our Case and Acero Senior Center still has a lot of things happening. The one thing that we do want to point out is that we are looking at offering monthly veterans workshops with the first one coming up on Saturday. It's February 24th. Is that a Saturday? Not sure if I'm sorry. I have to double check that date. Okay, so it is Saturday the 24th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And it is our Pastor Aisha Sharp who's going to come out and kind of work on finding leadership qualities among our veteran groups who are either looking to expand their current job opportunities, learn some new skills, kind of looking for that leader in you, that motivational connections that some of our veterans might need, especially coming out after the holidays. So we're excited to be offering that, and we hope to have additional workshops take place throughout the year. As for our Lazy Creek Recreation Center, we do have a couple things coming up. Parents Night Out. If any of our parents out there are looking for a break and would like to come on out, we do have activities happening on Friday, February 9th from 6 to 9:30. And then our annual Disneyland field trip will be taking place in February, which is President's Week. So that is a day when school's not in session. And if you don't want to go yourself or take your child to Disneyland, come on down. We'll be happy to do that for you. Lots of room available. And then we also have our Healthy Menifee classes and items that are going on in throughout the month of February. So we have indoor Zumba that's going to be coming up next Wednesday at the West Annex, and then outdoor yoga on the 22nd. And then our monthly Menifee Moves, which is the opportunity for our residents to get together at one of our outdoor parks, come out and walk together, will be taking place February 10th at Remington Park. And that concludes the recreation update. If you'd like, I can continue on to special events. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. I have one more. I forgot about this. Apologies for that. As you guys may have known, City Council did approve the Memorandum of Understanding with Paris Union High School District, and we are offering aquatics programming this summer. So with that, it's a very exciting endeavor for us. We do have a workforce that we need to staff. So we are currently recruiting for lifeguards, water safety instructors, and pool managers, and we hire as young as 15 and a half. So we do anticipate that this will be a great opportunity for a lot of our young athletes who might be interested in swim to learn how to use those skills in the municipal setting, helping us with overseeing our programs at Paloma Valley High School, and then water safety instructors, again, teaching swim lessons, and then our pool managers, which requires a little bit more experience and certifications, will help us with the daily oversight of the program. So these are 3 different levels, with lifeguards being entry level. As I mentioned, we hire as young as 15 and a half, and we will work with some of our youth to get certifications if required, because we are working closely with American Red Cross and some of their lifesaver CPR, first aid, AED, water safety instructor, and Title 22 certifications. So this is a lot of fun stuff happening, and really hoping that if anybody who's interested, or if you guys know of a young teenager who's looking for summer work, we are currently open. The positions are open on government jobs. You can go to cityofmenifee.us/jobs or go directly to governmentjobs.com, careers City of Menifee. But we are hiring, and we have approximately 15 positions to fill. So those are open as we speak. And that concludes my Recreation Division report, if there's any questions.
Commissioner Peterson.
One question here. For the attendance and revenue, does that include December as well, or is that only January?
I believe that's the participant is only for January. The revenue is year to date. Oh, I'm sorry, no, revenue, it's only January. You're right. It's only the month of January.
Did we actually have programs and anything in December, or was that?
We do. I can provide this information in a follow-up email to the commission if you like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A question regarding the aquatics hiring. Have the high school coaches, swim coaches been contacted, water polo coaches been
Yes,
contacted?
we have staff working, meeting with them actually tomorrow.
Awesome.
To discuss. We're looking to do some on-campus recruitment opportunities with a table at each of the high schools to let them know that we're hiring, working with athletic directors and trying to get the word out, because this is a brand new program for us and we need all the help we can get.
All right, great, thank you. Okay, can we move on to 10.5, special events?
Yes. So we do have a couple events that are coming up. This Saturday, we have our first ever adaptive sports fair, and it's going to be happening on February 3rd, 11 to 2 p.m. At Spirit Park. This is rain or shine, and we anticipate that the weather is going to be great this Saturday. It's going to clear up a little bit before it comes back to rain, so perfect timing for us. But we will make adjustments if needed. If we find that there's some areas that aren't, there's not enough drainage, or we have to make some adjustments, we will definitely adjust for that day. But we've been getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of interest, so we're really excited to be able to offer this opportunity for all abilities in Menifee. Next up, we have our art affair. That's going to be happening on Friday, February 16th at 5:30 to 8:30 at the Case and Sarah Senior Center. And we are focusing on Black History Month, and we're inviting all of Menifee residents to come on out to celebrate Black History Month with us. And last but certainly not least, we have the Wildlife Appreciation Day. So this is the second annual Park Ranger event that's coming back. And what better way to celebrate wildlife appreciation than to couple it with the park grand opening at Quartz Ranch. So our park rangers have been working hard to develop a program that includes wildlife meet and greets, talking about conservation, stewardship, how do we protect our parklands and our wetlands, natural habitats, and we get to highlight that at one of our brand new parks. So that is this Saturday Saturday, March 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And again, as Director Nix mentioned, that the ribbon cutting's at 10:30. So if that's what you want to be there for, we'd like for you to be there. But of course, we'd like for you to stay for the entire event if you can. And I'll pass it to Bryce, who oversees the Park Ranger program, in case there's anything else he wants to add on the event.
Yeah, if you went to the event last year, we had the tide pools, we had the animals, that the birds and stuff that came out. So all that same events are going to be there, same opportunities to do that. And then it's just it's probably going to be even bigger than a little bit bigger than last year, but it was a very well event. So I think Mariana described it pretty well, but yeah, if you have any other questions, I can definitely answer with that.
Any questions? Okay, great. 10.6, capital improvement program update.
Okay, I have a few updates on this. The ticket booth in the ranger station, so we received the material of that. I have the plans for the design for the utilities for that. So that's going through the permit process and then the out to bid for the construction process for that building. So we'll be out to bid with that for the construction part probably within the next 2 weeks. And then we'll be moving along right with that. La Piedra Community Center, we met with for our architect with that, so we are starting the process for the design phase, and we'll be bringing that to the commission and to the public. So we'll be working with everybody on that, and then we'll make sure we schedule with everybody on that. The Gale Webb restroom, so it says it's estimated to start. That's the estimated start is probably construction. So that's in the background. That's our engineering department, our CIDP department has actually taken the lead on that to help us move some of these projects. There are a lot just for us to do. So that one's moving along right now in the back work, getting purchasing. Probably going to go to council here within the next month or two to purchase the restroom and get that construction going. The park lighting, which includes bollards for walkway lights for Kai Thomas, and then also lights for the pump track, not the dirt area, but actual the pump track. So riders can use that, especially in the winter, can use it a lot longer. The lights won't be on all night. We'll be able to have it on a timer, and we can turn it off when we need to. So the park won't be open 24 hours a day, but it will have that light to extend that usage. And then the EL Pete Peterson dog park expansion, we've ordered a lot of that material, and then the design part is we're still working with the contractor to see where we're going to actually put the fence, how far we're going to extend it, and what else we have to do. But as soon as that, it's about probably 6 more weeks before we receive some of that material for the dog park. And then the Central Park Amphitheater, it says starting February 5th, that's the notice of proceed date for them. They were allowed to mobilize. They still needed to do those kind of things, but they won't probably start, especially with the rain. It's going to push it back, but that gives it's a whole year. So we got a lot of construction to go forward on that. And that's all I have for the capital improvement. If you guys have any questions.
Any questions?
Just one on the bridge. So did we put that out again?
Yes, so they're working, it's in 2 different phases. So it went for just the prefabrication. It's a prefabricated bridge. So just the purchase of that went out, and then it'll be the construction that will install the bridge that's going out. And that will be going out, it's here soon because it's going to go simultaneously with the amphitheater. And there's also lighting that has to go work with coming from the park to be able to light up the bridge and things like that. So it will be actually probably completed, I think, a little bit before the amphitheater, but it's going to be at the same time.
And we're also working on the parking lot there too.
Correct.
Engineering team, yeah.
Correct.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howell. 10.7, Maintenance Division report.
Okay, so we had 54 facility work orders that were submitted, 51 complete, 3 are in process. Again, when we say in process, we're either ordering material or something, it's just priority level that we need to get over. We had 193 park and right-of-way work orders submitted. Only 2 of those were submitted by residents. The rest were internal from our inspections. And then we have 13 that are in process. A lot of those are waiting on material. We just received a couple drinking fountains. We've received things over the last week and a half. So over the next 2 weeks, we'll be installing some of those things that were damaged. There's been some playground parts that are starting to finally come in, so we're able to close some of those out. But we highly recommend if anybody's in there to see anything to submit a work order through the app. It helps us out a lot. It's more eyes out there, and then just things that, if we don't see it, we can get on it right away. We did in November and December. You can see the trees are dwindling as we're time. It's not time to be pruning the trees. January we didn't do any, and then we'll start end of February going into March. We'll be definitely that will probably go up to 200-300 trees. It's going to start picking up a lot coming into springtime with our pruning of the trees. The park rangers in January, as you can see, compared to December, we had 326 park visits. And then our Adopt a Trail is increasing a little bit. So our volunteers, we had 15 for Adopt a Trail in January. And then this is just to go over our maintenance division update. Our work orders. And we are working on, like Commission had asked before, how much time is it, that's taking? It may say only 5% vandalism, but is it taking a little bit longer? So because December, and I'm just using that because it's a smaller portion on that pie chart. So we are going to add something else on here as we're working. We're starting to input the hours it's taking to complete certain, or not hours, but time it takes to complete certain work orders. December, as we were closed, there's a little bit less. So into January, into March, February into March, we'll be able to have a little bit more of a insight, of what's taking, not just the percentage. Yeah, there was 44%, but maybe that was a less time. We're able to provide that. But as you'll see, the irrigation here will definitely start creeping up as we start turning irrigation back on end of February going into March like we always do. And then we will have we'll still have quite a bit of park maintenance percentage on there, but that will be our turf, not conversion, repair. But we shut down ball fields, soccer fields throughout the summer, like springtime, hydro seed. We'll shut down certain soccer fields for about 2 weeks at a time, just so we can overseed, aerate, do things like that, help the turf recover, and then just so our parks stay nice and ready for the leagues. But that's all I have for maintenance division, if you guys have any questions on that.
I have just one quick.
Commissioner Peterson first.
So would you mind sharing some information for the community on how they can, our citizens can participate in the Adopt a Trail, Adopt a Park?
Yes, so we can definitely get that information out. So you can email for just even our community services department email, and then they will send that to the park rangers, or we can even call the park ranger hotline. I don't know the number right off the top of my head. And they will, it goes through the park ranger program. It is 723-3888. And you can contact, they'll give you a call back, or you can leave your email, they'll email back, so they can get you all that information, the packet and everything to adopt a park. So we adopt parks, trails, and what it is going out and just taking pride in your area. You can pick up trash, pull some weeds, anything you want on a volunteer basis. We're actually working on getting some t-shirts, things like that. So when you're out there, so it will say Menifee Adopt a Park, so you're not just there, it lets other people know what you're doing as well.
And Commissioner Faust.
Yeah, my question, Bryce, is how do you guys divide on the right-of-way maintenance? What does the city do? What does your contractor do as far as?
So right away, it's just like the parks. So right-of-ways and the parks, we are in charge of. The city maintains all the irrigation, any kind of plant replacement, things like that. Our contractor, it is either the trash, the weeds, or the mow and blow. They're really just the mow and blow. That's that, in the trash and the weeds, in the restroom, stuff like that. Now we can hire them if we needed to. It could cost a little more if we needed to catch up on anything to plant, do extra work. That's always that availability. But the irrigation and the repairs, things like that is the city maintenance that's there.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I have a question and a comment regarding our sidewalks and trails and the white fencing. I don't know what we want to call that. For example, on Holland Road, there's a dirt trail, there's white fencing, and there's a sidewalk. And
Like the split rail fence.
Split rail fence, correct, and which is wonderful. And I walk that quite often. During COVID, I noticed that if I got onto the dirt trail, and you're supposed to not be close to people, and someone's coming towards me, there's no way to get over to the sidewalk because that fence just extends for a long period of time. I wonder if you would consider having some breaks in that white fence, so you have the opportunity to get from the sidewalk to the trail or vice versa.
Absolutely. We
Just a
can
suggestion.
definitely look into that and keep that in our minds for the future of that. That's a
Right.
good idea, especially if you needed to get out instead of you're further there. So to cut across in the middle of a street or, to cross the street somewhere. So that's a
Right.
good idea.
I've had the opportunity of having, gentlemen with 4 dogs coming towards me, et cetera, so thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Any other comments or questions? Let's move on to item 11, Commissioner reports on committee activities. Commissioners, do we have any reports? Commissioner Peterson.
Okay, so a couple different activities here or events. First would be the Breakfast with Santa. It was a hit. The children loved it. I got to give a shout out to the youth leaders of Menifee. They are an unbelievable, absolutely amazing group of kids, and everything that they do, they bring smiles and enjoyment. And so I just have to say that was a great event. Santa was obviously the star of the show. And then second, we had our Menifee Citizens Advisory Committee meeting a few weeks back, and we had the honor to select the Menifee Citizen of the Year, who was Stacy Hartfield, and we were very proud to honor her with that recognition. And that's about it. Thank you.
Commissioners, anything else?
I wasn't able to attend in person the MCAC meeting for Citizens of the Year, but I was able to send in my ballots, and so that was great to be a part of that every year. Look forward to selecting the Citizen of the Year from all those wonderful people that serve so wonderfully in the city as well. And I think that's it. We got a busy schedule coming up of a lot of city events over the next this year. Actually, the calendar's already getting full. So it's going to be another wonderful year.
Commissioner Tremblay.
Yeah, no, I had, I think every quarter I enjoy doing this, or we get to vote on like teen of the quarter and then teen of the year. And it appears that a lot of the schools, whether it be teachers, administrators, will submit a athlete, a student, someone who has gone like above and beyond to get recognized in certain categories. And I would say every time I'm going through them, I'm always so impressed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend it in person with the rest of the team, but I was able to read through all of them and submit my voting remotely. And yeah, the stories that you read, you're like, there's no way I would have ever survived some of these things that, these young, teenagers, older kids have gone through, and the fact that they have gone through it and then come out still successful, given the circumstance, or even without the circumstances, like, holy cow. So it's always uplifting and inspirational, and it's really nice to see that we're, developing solid leaders in our community. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that. I was able to attend the meeting yesterday, and inspiring academic, all-star athlete, outstanding citizen, and like Commissioner Tremblay said, they're nominated by teachers, staff, coaches, people in the community, and there was many nominations, and it is heartwarming to see what these young kids are doing. And they'll be awarded on the March 20th City Council meeting will be the awards. And the Menifee Women's Club sponsors this event, and it's a $100 gift card for each winner. And then it's a fall, winter, and spring we do this, and then at the end of the school year, they have the Outstanding Teen of the Year, and there's a scholarship awarded to them as well. So it's a wonderful program. I also attended the Complete Streets Plan Project Advisory Committee meeting on January 16th. We identified 6 projects that we're going to move forward with, and this is to improve our streets and make them safer for pedestrians, bicyclists, and people driving cars and trucks and all. And Paloma Valley High School is one that we're looking at. Heritage High School is one that we're looking at. And so I'm really pleased with what's going on with that committee. Anything else? All right.
I did.
I have a question, because I know just working out in the community and the concerns around kids being able to safely get to school by accessing the sidewalks or the a bike trail. And I know there's been several students who've been hit riding bikes to school. Do you feel like that concern was addressed in this meeting?
Oh, yes, we're looking at bike lanes. Yeah, that was one of our main concerns, and getting more people out walking, pedestrians, making crosswalks safer. Again, it's all about safety and getting people moving safely.
And Chairman, I just wanted to mention that I had the opportunity to attend the Youth Leaders of Menifee meeting last, I guess it was on the 23rd of January, because I participate in the You Matter program. And we gave a presentation to and I just want to say the Youth Leaders program is just outstanding. These are such wonderful kids, such great kids, what a great program for them to learn leadership skills, to be able to serve the community. It was just it was a great event, and we were able to highlight the You Matter program that Chelsea Bollinger heads, and she's doing an outstanding job running that program. And there's a lot of good support, and she's brought in a lot of resources, especially for youth and for seniors and veterans and such. So just was able to see that firsthand, see that group firsthand, and I think that's Mikey's group, Mike, and just an outstanding program.
I agree 100%. Commissioner Tremblay and I had the opportunity to be there for the interview process for their officers, and just how well poised they were in the interview process and all, and what a great opportunity for them to do this. So again, kudos to Mike. Item 12, future agenda items, agenda requests. Do we have any?
And just an update on the items that have already been requested. We're looking at bringing those back this spring. So looking at the April, May meetings. There might be one item that we can bring back in March, but that's what we have planned for the holiday tree, the online reservation calendar, the Heritage Park discussion, updates on where we are with Valley-wide, and then the city events marketing plan.
Okay, Commissioner, anything else? Could we have a motion to adjourn, please?
I move to adjourn.
All right. Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned at 7:02. Thank you all.
Thank you.